I am Shannon Porter. When I was asked to speak, my first thought was how easy this was going to be. All I had to do was talk about all the great experiences I have had at Sunset Mesa. Then I realized it was going to be much harder because there are so many great things that have happened here. When I walked in my first day of preschool with my mom holding my hand tightly, I didn't know what to expect. My mom gently nudged me out of the nest and into the classroom door, and I looked up to see my first teacher, Mrs. Hadamio. She greeted me with the kindest smile and made me feel at home for the rest of the year. On that day, I was afraid to make any new friends until I saw a red-headed girl that looked just like me named Katie Matura. That day, I made my first friend, who is still my best friend today. Preschool was great with Mrs. Hadamio, but one of my favorite things was when she would give us a stick with a puffball on it, and we would sing, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day, oh my, what a wonderful day. That was fun. Preschool went by so fast, and before I knew it, I was ready for kindergarten with Mrs. Jackson. Every Friday, we would learn something new and then make that item out of food. One of my favorites was when we made a balloon out of Twizzlers, marshmallows, and pretzels. Yum. When I moved on to first grade, my teacher was Mrs. Cutney. She made math easy to learn. Especially for me because it was my hardest subject. She would give us addition and subtraction triangles. To reward our hard work, she would show us the magical dancing and singing flower pot. Second grade was where Mrs. Spindell encouraged my writing ability to its highest standard. Each day, she would give us a special writing assignment, giving us special tricks along the way to help us write better. Mrs. Gregg was the best third grade teacher ever. No matter what subject, she always had a great way to motivate us. And when she would give us admit one tickets when we were turning in our homework or when we did well on a test. At the end of the week, you were allowed to trade your tickets in for something special from the treasure chest. My fourth grade teacher was Mrs. Lucas. Her care and support with all my work during ice skating competitions was greatly appreciated. We had a bunch of great moments, but one of the funniest was probably when we were practicing for the class spelling bee. It was finally my turn for a word, and I asked her for the definition. Finally, I asked her to use the word in a sentence. Then, I asked her to spell the word, and she did. She realized what she had done, so she gave me a Lucas. So my final year at Santa Mesa, I had the joy of Mrs. Stewart. She helped all of her students with whatever subject they weren't doing well in. She was always filled with so much energy, and I finally figured out why. It was because of her 10 o'clock coffee, and without it, she became an angry bear. The teachers weren't the only great things here, though. The wonderful office staff that helped organize everything for us, from our lunches to parties and even graduation. The heroes of every mom out here today are our superb daycare staff. One day, my mom forgot to tell my babysitter to pick me up. Mrs. Blant stayed with me to keep me calm. Thank you, daycare staff, for always being there for us, especially if our parents forgot us. Our kind recess staff has been so helpful also. Whenever one of our soccer balls went over the roof or got stuck in a tree, Mr. Elf would go get them. They keep us safe at recess, and that is greatly appreciated. Take a moment to look at everything around you. All the plants and trees are grown beautifully thanks to Mr. Nathan. And everything is always working because of Mr. Nathan. These examples are only samples of what many delightful experiences I have had here. And I know all of my fellow classmates have their own stories to tell. All of the teachers and people here at Santa Mesa have motivated me to become the best person I can possibly be. They have taught me to love learning, work my hardest, and never settle for less than my best. So on behalf of this graduating class of 2012, thank you, Sunset Mesa, for preparing us for the next chapter of our lives.